Welcome back, y'all. Another video for this week. I hope everybody's having a good day. Whatever time you're watching this video, I hope everything's well. I've been real active this week too. There's not that much news drivers this week either, but it's been a real active week. I feel like I've been more dialed in, more focused, especially making these videos. I feel like these videos help me stay focused. But we about to do another review for the day and talk about the setups I took. It was a decent day. There were some mistakes on my end as far as, execution and holding on to my winners, but all in all, it was a good day. I can't complain. I'm not here to complain at all. So let's just get right into it. So if you watch any of my prior videos, I mentioned I did want to see lower prices. So let's go on daily. I did want to see lower prices. I wanted us to see potentially if we took out these lows and last week's low. So we did get that. We took out last week's low beautifully on a Friday. So first 2 days of the week, we traded higher. And that is definitely a selling profile. So everything's fractal, right? You have your selling profile and you have a buying profile. These are weekly profiles, so like a weekly outlook. So you have your open, high, low, close for all candles, even weekly candles. So we have a weekly open, we trade higher. We have a high, then we start trading lower. We have our low, and then wherever it closes, that'll be our close. But if you're bearish, you want to see price trade higher initially before going down. There are moments where you probably won't get that and it'll probably trade down immediately and then, reverse midweek. But I've seen exactly what I wanted to see this week as far as price action goes. So we had our daily fair value gap. We respected that daily fair value gap, especially after Wednesday. We traded lower, or we closed lower, and we continue lower on Thursday and also going into today. So that was a beautiful sell profile on the weekly time frame, and that's how you really want to frame out your trades. You want to have like a weekly bias. Sometimes that target on the weekly gets hit early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But if you see, we dragging it out, we might hit our target on Thursday and Friday. It happens, kind of like last week. Last week we're also bearish, and you see Monday we had that initial trade lower and we did end up trading higher and we swept the high one last time on a Wednesday. So the high of the week was made on a Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, we got the push we're looking for. So always to be mindful of that, and it would have been the same if it was reverse. So if we're bullish, we wanted to buy, we would want to see price trade lower first before making buys. So trade into like some type of PD array, premium, discount level, so we could buy higher. But that was my mental framework. So I did want to see last week's lows being taken, and we got that. So going in, Asian session, we had our Asian session range. Ideally, if we could have got like a trade into this 4 hour, that would have been so great. But we didn't get that, and that's fine. We kept trading below the new week opening gap. So our new day opening gap. So we opened, because this is settlement price. So we had our open, we traded lower. We had one up close candle 2 a.m. So this was London session. And then as you can see, boom, we dumped off, we fell off. And my friend were coming into this. I did take a short attempt early, well, not early during London, probably like an hour after London open. I attempted a short, didn't get that. On that, I attempted another short, I had a nice run, broke even on that. Then I attempted to go long, thinking we might hit this new week opening gap one more time before going lower. We didn't get that, so I attempted two longs, got stopped out. So I believe I took six trades. I'm gonna show all the executions, so it doesn't matter. But I believe I took six trades today, and I wasn't upset at the number of trades I took. The only trades I would say probably the long is going long, because I was anticipating, like, based on the price action, like, okay, maybe we might go higher temporarily, but we didn't really go higher. So 6:30 we made our high. Well, this 6:15. So 6:15 we made our high for London session, and we started trading lower from there. So, being mindful of that, I was mindful of that. And if you could have got in at this daily level, so this is a new day opening gap. We retested it twice. So this first time at 9:15, and we also had this is not color coded correctly. So we had this 15-minute gap, and you're anticipating lower prices. So we had this initial 15-minute gap hit and this new day opening gap hit. The low of it hit, and we traded lower. We had one more sweep of it at 9:30. I got stopped out my initial position. All good though. So, like I said, I'm already anticipating lower prices. So our first presented, so 9:30 here. Our first presented fair value gap was here. So let me adjust that. So this is the first presented fair value gap. So we created the gap, we traded higher, swept the high, this intermediate buy side, and we started trading lower. Once I seen this trade below, that gave me confidence. I already have bearish bias. So now I went short. I made the mistake of, my mistake was I trailed my stop way too soon. So I seen these two up close candles and then these down close candles, and I told myself I don't want to see price come back up here. And if we did, and we flushed lower right after. So that's just me. That's really a patience thing. Being patient, just allowing the market to do what it does. I didn't like that I was stopped out here. I took some profit on this initial run. So this first run right here, took some profit, made back what I had lost, and then got here again. No, I didn't get here. This is why I got stopped out on my funded account. I'm taking these trades on my funded account also. I did pass my funded account. I passed my combined account this week, and I started trading live. So now I got stopped out on my funded account now. We started trading lower. I took this position after we closed below this first percent fair value gap, and I wanted to ride it out until these lows, these lows. I was not anticipating all of this price from lower. I really just wanted the previous day's low to be hit, and we got that. So that was the play that I took for the day, and I'm gonna show the executions. But it's so important just trusting the market. Honestly, that's probably the biggest takeaway for the day. Trusting the market and giving it room to run. Especially when it's leaning in your favor, giving it room to run and not being so impatient and trying to overly predict the market movements. And that's something I got caught up in doing. But all in all, it's been a good week. I probably do a review video on the weekend and an overview video. So what I'm looking for going into next week. So I'll probably do that, drop that video sometime either on Sunday or Saturday tomorrow. But that's all for this week. I'm gonna show y'all the executions before I go. This like a day-to-day thing. This is my first stop out. I wanted to go short here. got stopped out, just kept going higher. I had this nice run here, and I'm holding, cause I really just want to just hold from here. I want this good position, and this was at the midpoint of the new day opening gap. So I had like that position. I ended up getting stopped at break even. This spike right here, right before at 750. So 750 to 810 macro, we had this intermediate run higher, and this one I assumed that okay, we might potentially take out these highs and trade back up in here before reversing. Attempt one, stopped out. Attempt two, stopped out. I'm like, all right, fine. Really just reacting to what the market's giving me. I'm like, okay, fine. We probably won't go any higher before 9:30, and these 15-minute gaps are forming right at the bottom of the new day opening gap, and we're below the halfway mark. So we already consolidated here a lot. So when these fair value gaps are forming, you don't want to assume, oh, okay, price might come back. You don't want to assume, all right, price is gonna come back here. Especially like when the market is about to run, it wants to run fast and it doesn't want to give anybody an opportunity to get in. It doesn't want to give too many trades opportunity to get in. You have to already be in or position yourself to get into the run. So I wasn't if it did tap into here, it would have been okay. A closure above this would have fully invalidate the sell at the time, but you see we respected this fair value gap, the fair value gap that broke this breaker block right here, and it's below the new day open gap. So many confluences. You want your lower time frame PD arrays to line up with your higher time frame PD arrays, depending on whatever direction you trade in. So we had got that here, and that's what made me want to go sell short here. So I'm gonna go back to execution quick. So these was my executions. Like I said, I stopped myself out. I moved my stop too soon. I tried my stops too soon. And then we end up getting the final flush. But all in all, like I said, good week and looking to just continue the momentum and just follow my system moving forward. All right, y'all. Until next time.